Push record. There we go.
All right, I'll call this meeting to order. Operations, Thursday, September 16th is 5:30. We'll start with roll call. Ms. Crosby.
Here.
Mr. Arena.
Here.
Mr. Hoffman.
Here.
I'm also present. Mr. Butita and Mr. Salgado notified me they weren't going to be able to make it, and Dorothy is not with us just yet. May I have a motion to approve the July 1st, 2021 minutes? Motion by Ms. Crosby, second by Mr. Hoffman. Any questions or discussion on the minutes? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Is there anyone to speak up from the public this evening?
No.
I shall omit that portion. Moving right along to resolution establishing the county holiday schedule for 2022, and I so move.
Second.
Second by Ms. Crosby. The items before us.
This is an annual resolution that the board approves for the 2022 holiday schedule for the county employees.
Didn't the governor make us take an extra holiday this past year?
Well, there, election day,
Yeah.
and then there's talk about Juneteenth, but we didn't include either of those in here because I don't think it's a law yet, is it?
It's just not required, so
Right.
it's up to the county board on whether or not you guys want to.
The courts did grant the Juneteenth, which I think is June 20th. The courts, I saw their schedule.
19th, I
Pardon?
believe.
19th.
Oh, the 19th, yeah. So the courts are going to allow for that, but we did not include it.
Okay. Each holiday is very expensive for the county. I understand that.
Well, what about the voting day? I thought that was that one mandatory?
I don't think it's mandatory, right?
It wasn't reoccurring?
No, it's
No.
not mandatory.
Okay, good.
Darn. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Zip it.
Mr. Arena?
Thank you, Mr. Arena. So you know, I recall when we had the sheriff's budget and they had a figure for what it cost them for that election day holiday. Do you know what those holidays cost us?
It's in the tens of thousands.
The fortune.
It's expensive.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
I don't have the exact number.
For the record, it's tens of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars.
I'll get the right number for county board.
Just so that we, I think election day, maybe not, typically it hasn't been, there might be a portion of the community that feels that Juneteenth should be, but I think if they're gonna choose not to, people should understand why. And
Yeah.
if they would fully understand the cost associated with it, that would be helpful.
Okay.
I think that's a good point, Mr. Arena. Any other discussion on this resolution? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Resolution passes. You know what? I'll sign at the end. Next item is a resolution for the emergency purchase of a food steamer for River Bluff Nursing Home, and I so move. May I have a second? Second by Ms. Crosby. The item's before us.
This is to replace.
It's a hot item.
Yes, it is. It's a replacement item for a steamer that went down unexpectedly at River Bluff, and we had to make an emergency purchase to replace it. The dollar amount is $34,610. It comes out of the River Bluff budget. There is one change to the executive summary, and it's minor. It's just the object code. So it's an accounting number. We didn't have the right object code number in the resolution, and we made that correction.
Okay.
Should I make it on this version
I
that
have
they're going to sign?
an original here, so if you want to sign that one, and it's got the changes.
But we're held to the resolution and not the executive summary.
Right.
I don't disagree. It should be accurate.
Right.
But I guess my point is I don't believe in amendments in order for that.
But if he's got it.
You would go to amend it?
No, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't think we need to amend the executive summary.
Right.
Any questions on the steamer, Mr. Arena?
Thank you. So it's coming out of River Bluff budget from this past year? From the
Current year, right?
Current year.
Yeah.
And it says budget impact, NA, what, that they had funds available.
Yes.
Ms. Crosby, did you have your hand up? No? Okay. Any other discussion on this item? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is passed. Next is a resolution awarding bid for Veterans Memorial Hall access and accessibility, and I so move. Seconded by Ms. Crosby. Items before us.
This is a DNR grant that was awarded to Memorial Hall to make
For the steamer?
improvements to the accessibility to the facility, the entrances, and providing ramp access to the facility for handicap accessibility. There's no county dollars involved, it's all state DNR grant dollars, $196,100. Scott Lewandowski is here too if you have questions.
Great job on the grant, Scott.
Yeah.
Who did a good job?
Nice,
Who
very
does a
nice.
good job?
$600,000
600, you say?
for all three
Oh,
combined.
nice.
That's great.
Great. Has anybody any discussion on this resolution from Memorial Hall?
Just, I'm curious, so describe what it is they're gonna do.
What it is if you've been in Memorial
Yep.
Hall, from the south parking lot, there's the handicap accessibility entrance, which is kind of narrow and it's a dark cavernous thing. We're gonna remove that wall and make it wider, and there's gonna be a ramp that'll go up to the east side of the building. We're gonna change the entrance door down there from a manually opening one to an electronic push button door, and it'll be a little wider, so it'll allow more accessibility. And then last part of the project, which isn't in this, is the entrance doors on the main level stick and all that, so they're gonna get reworked a little bit. That's the full grant.
Ms. Crosby?
And having had to use your handicap door, that door is heavy.
It's heavy.
And when you've got someone 250 pounds in a wheelchair, it is not easy.
Well, and not having the electronic
Yeah.
opening. And one of the ADA requirements is that the door needs to be full glass, so that you can see through it in case someone's on the other side. And one of the alternatives or add-ons to the bid was to have that be security glass. You know, that was something that Sean recommended too, that, you know, that was a little bit more, but we felt that was important at the time that they're doing this, to have that done.
Good.
I would agree.
And the project was bid out and will be awarded to Rockford Structures Construction Company.
Any other discussion on this item?
Can I say one more thing?
Please.
This also solves another problem, and one of the reasons that, aside from the fact that I wanted to do this entrance bigger, and I actually talked to Ramp, and they were in full agreement, wrote a letter of recommendation. But what started this is that whole area, for some reason, when they built that and added that to the building, they pitched the cement towards the building, and they just have these 4-foot dead wells, you know? So every time we get any sort of substantial rain, it floods the basement, it fills up that whole area with like 6 inches of water, and it's been a constant problem. We've had, you know, some of our floor has buckled because of that, and now we have these new display cases from the last grant. So this was kind of a way for me to get that work done, because they're gonna redo that whole drain system and tie us into the regular city drains out in the parking lot. So it kind of has a dual benefit aside from the accessibility. But the main reason, I personally, it's more than I thought, but, because I thought you'd just break up the cement, pitch it the other way, but there's rules and all this stuff about that. So it will have a lot of benefit aside from the accessibility part for our building, having a nice new door and the drainage in the proper way.
Good. Anybody else with anything? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Resolution passes. And the last resolution for the evening is a resolution adopting criteria for the operation of the county's delinquent tax program. So
Thank you, guys.
I guess we could put it in front of us. There's a motion for the resolution. Can I have a second to put in front of us formally? Ms. Crosby seconds, along with Mr. Arena is ahead of us now.
So,
has there been some updates, changes? Can we finally move forward?
yeah, I'll give you an update and you can fill in what I forgot. How's that? We've had, how many meetings? Three meetings. And, it's been, and LAF is working on, some language. We want to either have the municipalities hold us harmless if we deny a bid, or if a bid's denied, or have a first right of refusal, or have some kind of minimum criteria that they would have to perform the work by. I talked to the city and they said they had rejected two, maybe three, they had concerns over two, maybe three people that bid. One of them bought the property and didn't do anything with it, just sat there. And then he came back for another property. So that's where that came from. So there is support for some kind of stopgap there. And when I emailed LAFA, she indicated that it's probably premature to take a vote on it at this point. Do I have that right?
That's correct. We've had discussions about just making a new IGA with R1PC, which would incorporate some of the concerns the board has regarding the bidding process and the account and just several issues. So it's our recommendation, and the chairman has been involved in those discussions as well, that we just work on the new IGA and incorporate all the changes together at that time.
So
which
you-
will be for-
So, and it has to come here for approval.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna lay this resolution over until the IGA is complete?
I recommend we don't proceed with this resolution, but it's ultimately up to you.
So that would be a move to table, right? So
Okay.
Right.
I move the table.
So, from a parliamentary, if we table, do we have to do a date certain, or do we?
Table's done.
Yeah.
Unless we postpone indefinitely,
Vote.
because this current resolution, I mean, we're not gonna even move forward with it at all.
So postpone indefinitely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I retract that motion. I move we postpone it indefinitely.
And then we can bring it back when things are complete.
Yeah, bring a
A
new,
new-
either just the
something
IGA or a new
completely
resolution.
different.
I am happy, because, that's fine, that's great.
Do you wanna second that, Ms. Crosby, then?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Arena, second by Ms. Crosby. Any discussion, Joe?
Nothing gets done with this then.
Correct.
What?
Nothing gets done with this.
Done.
No.
All those in favor of tabling indefinitely?
No.
Postponing indefinitely? All
Aye.
in favor say aye? Aye.
Aye.
Is anybody opposed? Any other matters for this evening?
No.
How about a motion to adjourn? Mr. Hoffman makes a motion to adjourn, second by Mr. Arena. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
So table.
We're pushed off.